Our faith must propel us. Based on what the Word of God is saying to us, it must move us to a place of where we are to a place to where we need to go.
I'm still here. That's right. My name is Pastor Corey Brooks, and I'm still here in this tent for 100 days, bringing attention and awareness to the violence in Chicago and also across America. I am here tonight with a friend all the way from Brooklyn who is staying on the rooftop with me tonight as we talk about these various issues. So I want to say welcome to our Rooftop Revelations. I want to jump right in and just dig on a topic that has been on my mind. And having Pastor Gil Monrose here tonight from Brooklyn is going to help me with this topic. Pastor, one of the things I realized when we talk about violence and the work that we do, our work is very similar. And I realized in this work that politicians try to policy their way through the problems. But for us, it's more than policy. It's about using faith to tackle these problems. The question I want to ask you is, how do you believe that faith fills the gap when it comes to working in these areas of violence?
Right. So thank you for that, Pastor Brooks. I think that politicians are called to make policies, and pastors are called to people. And because we're called to people, we are definitely concerned about the policies that politicians make. And therefore, because of our faith, we must be engaged and involved in policy, because policy, again, affects our people. So when you're looking at policy, you have to look at it from a humanistic standpoint. How would this affect the person that I want it to help? And so you can't do policy on money. You can't do it on favoritism. It must be about people. You know, Jesus said something that I think that we should all remember, and he talked about the fact that he said that the poor you will always have among you. And so his work and his daily life was around the poor. He was around people who they considered to him a wine babbler. They considered to him that he was a friend of the sinners, because he was around the people who, if you have the right policy, they will be pulled out of poverty. And so I think that, again, politicians need to make the right decision when they're making policy to really help the people.
Right. And as we talk about faith, we live in this secular society. And how do you think it is that faith responds as we move into these environments? I know for me, faith is so important, because without that God presence, without that godly work, it's empty. And so my faith is what pushes me into action. It's what causes me to love people. It's what causes me to have love for my neighbors.
Right.
And it's that faith. Do you think it's that faith that we need if we're going to change this issue that we're faced with, especially with the violence?
Yeah, I think for us too as well is that we must have faith that moves God, right? And you have to have faith to be in this cold for sure. But that faith that we're talking about must propel us to action. You can't have faith without movement. There is no time in the Bible where you have seen that there were individuals who had faith and were stand still in the sense of not moving forward.
Right.
So our faith must propel us. Based on what the Word of God is saying to us, it must move us to a place of where we are to a place to where we need to go. And so I think that is one thing that is really powerful about faith. It drives you, it pushes you, it moves you in the direction of God.
Right. Well, listen, it's all about having that good faith that Eli Steele writes about and talks about. Shelby Steele writes and talks about that good faith. And that's what we're trying to practice. So until then, till tomorrow, I'm going to still be on this roof. Please keep praying. Please keep supporting. Thank you to my Fox family for giving us this platform for Rooftop Revelations. Until the next time, as I always say, peace.